entertainment, current events, and Hollywood. Don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shutter hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest.
J. Timothy Hunt.
Welcome.
Thank you. And
So-
please don't call me Jay. It's just an initial.
For sure. I totally get it. Yeah, I love it though. I love going back to the beginning. I always say the
Okay.
beginning chart, our trajectory in life, our little habits we pick up along the way, follow us into our adulthood. Tell me a little bit about your childhood. What was that like? And how did you find your way into doing the things that you're doing right now, currently?
How did I find my way? My way found me all the time. I just feel like this deer in the headlights, participant in my life. I was born and raised in Southern California. I was born in Los Angeles and raised way out in the desert, around Riverside, like halfway to
Riverside.
Palm Springs, which is not at all glamorous in any way. It was just living where everything was brown and the wind was constantly hot and blowing. So it's like, I don't know, growing up in a blow dryer. So,
I love it.
but my parents are both from a little place in nowhere, Virginia called Tazewell, um, a little coal mining town up in the hills. And my my dad and my uncle were best friends growing up in school when they were kids.
Mhm.
And then when the Korean War happened, they both joined the Navy and they both went off to war. And then while they were away in Korea, both their families just independently moved to Southern California. So my dad, on leave from the Navy, went to look up his best friend, you know, and
Yeah.
my best friend's little sister had grown up in the meantime, and Dad like fell in love with my his best friend's sister and
Wow.
married him. So yeah, so I was basically raised by the Beverly Hillbillies in Southern California. Yeah. So it was we were unusual people for the area. Can I say that? Growing
Right.
up in a very unusual time in history. This was um, I grew up in the 1960s and uh, through the 1970s in California.
Mm.
So that was a weird time of history, and we were people who were definitely not what you think of as Californians when you think of Californians. So
Right, I see.
yeah, so that's the beginning. Um,
I bet it was eventful.
no, it wasn't eventful at all. It
Mm.
was deadly. Just, imagine just being out in the most boring part of Southern California you could
Mhm.
possibly grow up in. Uh, yeah, but my mom had some pretty severe mental health problems, so that
Oh, so
really
sorry.
colored my growing up.
Yeah.
And it was, I was a gay kid growing up in Southern California in the 60s when that was bad, and in a family where that was bad. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so I some pretty awful things happened to me growing up there.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Intense, bullying by uh, neighbors, school kids, family.
Mm.
It was and then I didn't feel part of the society. I didn't feel
Yeah.
part of my family. I didn't feel part, I felt like this alien creature dropped, on the planet.
Hmm.
So it was very weird growing up. It's very, very weird.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That really, it's
Yeah,
so
you know
sad.
what? It made me what I am today. And, I would, it was awful to go through, but I wouldn't have changed a minute of it, now that I
Yeah.
think back. Hmm.
Yeah. 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 It's so crazy. I was just talking to someone about that, just how the things we go through, how awful they are. It's just they somehow, make us who we are today. So it, as much as it's really awful, it's like, well, I guess, yeah, I guess it was good, I guess, in a way to, now that I have tough skin, I can, you know, go through life and with any, like, even though something can knock you down, I got back up and I kept going. And,
And you know
that's a testament
what?
right there.
The when I think back, about how unhappy I was, how desperately, desperately unhappy I was, and
Mm,
I engaged in a little bit of self-harm and all that stuff. It was bad. But then I think about right now, I go back and I think about all the normal kids, the normal
yeah.
California kids from normal California families who had it easy and nothing ever happened to any of them.
Mm,
They just you know, finished living out their little boring lives. And I, on the other hand, have had this amazing life. Um,
mm,
I've I've traveled all over the world. I've had some pretty awesome achievements and some bizarre, fantastic things happening to me. So, yeah, actually being the weird outcast has, in the end, oddly enough, worked out for me.
yeah, no, it has definitely. And you are doing amazing work. So,
Well,
um,
thank you.
screw those other kids.
That's my opinion right now. Oh, screw them. I won.
Exactly, exactly. So I love that, yeah, I mean, gosh, like you said, you have an amazing, career. You've traveled. I have a question for, the Museum of Lies, and
Sure.
Memory, which first of all, the title was just, wow, so cool. But I'm so curious about that. The Museum of Lies centers on the idea that memory is unreliable, right? And
Yes.
at what point in your life did you begin to question your own memories?
Well, I think it might help your listeners first if I just tell them a brief bit about what the book is about.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. The Museum of Lies is a novel, a literary novel, but it's told first person. A man is telling you everything that happened in his life. And it's a life that it's not my autobiography at all, but it parallels my life. It's someone who's lived a parallel existence.
Mm,
All the facts are different, but this fellow grew up kind of the way I did in the times and places that I did, and he has like horrifically horrible, horrible things happen to him that are deeply traumatic. He engages in really self-harming behavior, and and also he has these inexplicably unbelievable bouts of good fortune that just sort of fall upon him in equal measure. And uh, in his midlife, he goes to a therapist he feels he has this repressed memory that he's trying to remember. So he goes to a therapist who is performing uh, uh, RMT, repressed memory therapy, I think they called it. It was big back
mhm.
in the 70s, 80s, where people would like regress you. Remember regressions and
Yeah.
rebirthing and all that stuff, where they would take you back, and try to unlock memories in your head that you've repressed, which will help you figure out how you are the way you are now and how, why you're behaving this way. And then this will like lead you on a new path of enlightenment. So he goes to see this doctor and in fact, in the book, you don't even hear about any of these sessions with this doctor. But he finds out later that the doctor that he has seen, and this is years later, he finds out that doctor has been accused in the media of implanting false memories in his patients. And suddenly, this character who's narrating the book, he's he's sure that everything he has told you up until this point is absolutely true, but uh, even he can't prove it, and everyone thinks that he's made this whole thing up. And so
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah, he kind of goes a little crazy. And to order to prove that his own memories that he has in his head are real,
Hmm.
he creates this museum to himself.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like this bizarre Victorian cabinet of curiosities kind of thing. And yeah, he kind of goes a little nuts because
Which
he
I
can't
find very
prove that
interesting.
any of his memories are real. Okay, so that's the
That's
book.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's yeah. And so I I'm married to a psychiatrist. So
Nice.
yeah, and I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened that way. Uh, but so he was able to give me access to lots of there's scientific journal articles about um, something called false memory syndrome, which is a real thing that people have when they have false memories in their head. And there have been many cases around the world, like hundreds of legal cases, where people have actually gone to jail
Oh,
because other
wow.
people with false memories have accused them of horrible crimes, like murder, satanic ritual abuse, things like that. And therapists have been sued. It was a huge thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a real thing, false memory syndrome. As when I was writing this book, I mean, I started writing this book because I would tell people about my life,
Hmm.
and I see this look go over their eyes, this glazed look, like, yeah, right, like you didn't do any of this stuff. I'm like, but yes, I did.
Right.
I really did. I did. Spend a month in Ethiopia.
I
It's
love
the
it. I
weird,
love it.
weird things. I did write a children's book. I wrote a best-selling children's book that I don't remember writing.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff has happened to me. Um, I've always been in the newspaper since the time I was 4 years old. I always managed to be in the local papers growing
That's
up.
awesome.
And I never did anything to warrant it, but my picture and my name was always in the newspaper since I was four.
Wow.
It's just crazy. I just seem to attract weird attention that way. And so when I was writing this book, I was thinking about my own life. I'm thinking, are these, is all this stuff that I remember actually real? But maybe I'm not remembering this correctly, or so I I did some research into memory, and it's not reliable. Like nobody's memory is reliable. Nobody's.
Wow.
All this stuff that you think you remember, like from your childhood or your adolescence or your early 20s or all this stuff, it's all it's not recorded in your brain like on a hard drive. It memories change. Memories sometimes memories it's like someone else can create a false memory in you. Let me give you an example. My sister, who I'm very close to, she still lives in the States. I live in Canada now. But she just this last week went to Disneyland with her family. And it's a place that she and I went at least twice a year growing up. So we've been to
Aw,
Disneyland a lot.
love that.
And she said, like, okay, when we were little, there was like the train ride that went around Disneyland, and you go through some tunnels, and there were dinosaurs and things in the tunnels. And she distinctly remembered a scene with Jesus on the cross in one of those tunnel scenes. And she described it vividly to me. And she said, was that real? Was that ever really there? Or am I confusing it with something? And I'm like, no, I don't remember that at all. And I did a little Googling, like, no, there's never been any Jesus part on that ride. But
Interesting.
since she told me that and since she described it, I can now see it in my head. And it almost like it's a memory in my brain right now. Her false
Huh.
memory is now, she's now, I mean, that's, I'm like, damn it, Renee, now you've got this thing in my head that, I can picture it too. So, yeah,
Wow.
memories can change. Like if your
That's
spouse or your loved one talks about something that happened with the two of you, and they just keep telling the story to other people wrong, it becomes the story,
wow. Do you
you know?
believe memory protects us or betrays us?
It betrays us. It betrays
Mm.
us. But sometimes it betrays us to protect us.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
does that make any sense
Yeah,
whatsoever?
it totally does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
Because your brain doesn't want to drive you insane.
Absolutely. Absolutely not. I would hope not. Um, the novel challenges the idea of objective truth. How do you personally define truths today?
Okay, so one of the great things about my life is I've been a writer basically since I was like 13 or 14 years old. I've been known as a
Amazing.
writer. And we could talk about that too. That's another crazy, bizarre thing that happened to me. I just became a writer. Nobody asked me. I mean, I didn't say I'm a writer, just like, okay, people said you're a writer now. And I just went along with it.
Love
But
it.
one of the things that it did was I kept journals, like really detailed journals for the last several decades. And I've got them all piled up here at the house. I've been even digitizing them so that in case the house burns down, I don't lose them.
Right.
They're all in the cloud now. Uh, but I feel like all these journals that I've kept, I have like when I mentioned that the brain is not like a hard drive, well, the journals are
Right.
because I download my thoughts, my feelings, my experiences onto paper, and then I can just put it on a shelf.
Yeah.
And right now, so my husband is a generation older than I am, and he has like 10 years ago suffered some strokes and
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah, so it's been a difficult period of our life, and he's got quite a bit of memory loss. So sometimes I will just go to my stack of journals and I'll pull out, he and I have been together 30 years. I
Wow.
will pull out something that we did 20, 25 years ago, a journal
Yeah.
from back then, and I will just read to him our life. And like 90% of the time, I don't remember any of this stuff. I
Wow.
just don't, I don't remember that this happened or we said that or we met those people or I don't remember it, but I'm just really glad I wrote it down at the time when it
Right.
happened in like super great detail. And um, yeah, so those are memories I can rely on because I've captured them in amber because I'm a writer.
Yeah. I
And I'm
love that.
so grateful for that, especially after writing this book where I can't trust anything that I remember because I don't think anybody can.
Wow.
Does that
Wow.
answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I got on such a tangent I forgot the question. Memory. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious, at what point does self-preservation turn into self-deception?
Oh, I'm one of these. That is a hard question for me personally because
Yeah.
I am one of those people who completely lack the ability to lie to myself. Like
Okay.
I can't cheat at solitaire. I just
Yeah,
can't. And
yeah.
I can't look in the mirror and make myself believe something I don't see. And a lot of
Mm,
people can do that. They can
very
lie to
true.
themselves. Um, and I'm not going to get political, but in the current political climate, there's a lot of people doing just that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, take that how you will. I can't do that. And I grew up in a very religious household. I went to church a lot. I grew up Southern Baptist. I'm
Oh, wow.
Jewish now.
Nice. Okay.
I converted to Judaism 20 years ago. But even growing up in a fundamentalist Baptist church, even when I was a little kid, like in kindergarten, first grade, I couldn't will myself to believe any of that stuff. I just couldn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't like I was like a sworn atheist. It's just like all the things they were telling me, I was like, I no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, and I drove them crazy in Sunday school because like, well, so like how did that happen? You know,
Yeah.
who did how did Adam and Eve have grandchildren? I was a terrible. I drove the teachers crazy. I'm just like I wasn't trying to be mean, or I was just trying to understand it. And I couldn't just. They were just. Their answer was always just have faith, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I can't. I can't just
Yeah.
have faith. It's just something in me. People of faith, I applaud you. Please have faith. Don't get me wrong. I don't judge anybody who has faith. It's just that me personally, psychologically, I lack that ability. Sorry.
No, no, hey, that's honesty. I think that's
Mm.
important to be,
See,
honest
I
these
can't
days.
lie to myself. I can't say
There you
like,
go.
"Oh yeah, I'm a person of faith." Like, no, I just can't. I just can't. And I wish I could. There's a lot of times I wish I could just, you know,
Yeah, no,
pray it
I totally
away.
get it. You're
But I'm like, no, like, no, I don't get it. Sorry, you're gonna get so much hate mail, or I am right now, because
No,
like,
no.
oh,
It's a safe space.
okay, good.
Um, I was wondering, I was curious of how much of, Carl's emotional reality mirrors your own experience, even if the plot is fictional.
Oh, it's it's it mirrors it a lot. A lot. Carrie Scott, the protagonist of the book who's telling the story,
Yeah.
he has he
Sorry,
starts the
Carrie.
book by being morbidly obese. He's like fat, and then becomes anorexic. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and loses a lot of weight and becomes like his weight is it kind of defines him and his struggle with weight. And I was bulimic for quite. I don't think I am now. Haven't been for a while, but in my 20s and into my 30s, it was bad. Um, yeah, it was bad. And so I know intimately Carrie's crazy little internal monologue that
Mm,
you read in the book. You get to experience his mind ticking second by second, um, judging himself, uh, willing himself into doing bad, really self-destructive things to himself. And
mm,
I know all that. I've done that, and so I know that. And I've been to compulsive eating seminars, and I've read all the self-help books, and I've, I've seen all the videos, and so I know what it's like to be that guy.
yeah.
I mean, I ran 10 marathons. Just,
Wow.
I know. If I hadn't had kids, I'd still be running them. Having children put an end to that, thank God. And having children also put an end to me thinking about myself all the time. I
I
had
see. Yeah.
twin boys to totally focus on, and that was
Oh,
such a blessing. Just like I got to see the world through their eyes instead of my own crazy filter. I don't know. It's
yeah.
been great. Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
yes, Carrie's experiences in the book directly mirror mine, and the bizarre things that happen to him directly, um, they're not exactly what happened to me, but they mirror strange things that happened to me. Like I told you, I became a writer accidentally.
Yeah.
It was true. I arrived at school one day in junior high, And everyone's like saying, "You won, you won." I'm like, "Won what?" Apparently, in English class, the teacher asked us to write a poem, and I'd never written a poem before. I didn't even like poetry, but I had to write it for this school assignment. So I just dashed it off and turned it in. And I didn't know this woman, she entered it into a contest, a
Wow.
local
That's
contest, and it
awesome.
won first prize.
All
And it was in the
right.
paper. I'm like, what? She didn't ask me if she could submit my thing. And like suddenly I'm this poet with his picture in the paper, getting an award from the Rotary Club, like for
Wow.
writing, like, and then everyone just considered me a writer from then on. So I don't know, I just became a writer. Um,
Yeah.
I just followed
It was
along and then,
destined. It was destiny.
hmm
Definitely. I definitely believe in when, things are meant to be, they're meant to be, you know. It's just gonna find you somehow.
yeah, yeah. But
That's awesome.
sometimes it's nice for you to have a dream and achieve your dream. But this is the dream came, and then I was like, oh, okay.
I love
I
it. I
guess
love it.
I guess this is my dream now, because it never occurred to me. And and imagine being a poet, quote
Yeah.
unquote, and not even liking poetry. I didn't read poetry. I didn't like. It just seemed ridiculous to me. And so,
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
you're
imagine
doing
being a
amazing
yoga
work.
guru who doesn't like yoga.
Yoga, right? Like it's like right, they're the ones that make it, things happen, and then everyone else who's trying really hard never get.
Exactly. These people who write thousands and thousands of poems that no one will publish. Looking at me with stink eye.
I love it.
I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Right. I
It's
love
just my
that.
crazy life. Stuff happens to me, and
Do you
I just
think you're
kind of
living?
go along.
I think it's awesome and it's super inspiring, I must say. I gotta
Okay.
give it to you. It's so inspiring to hear this. I'm like, wow, so cool. Like, do you think you're living in your purpose now?
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's awesome.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I when I think about my life did not turn out the way I imagined it when I was younger. If you'd have told me now, back then, uh, how I would be right now, I would have laughed in your face. Um, and I mean, here I am at this stage of life. I started out a gay fundamentalist Christian, American, and now I am a married Jewish Canadian father of two. Like, like what? What? No, absolutely no. And I remember having my fortune told when I was in high school. Someone told my fortune. They read my palm, and it's like, "Oh, you're going to have two children, and like you're going to be married with two children." I'm like, I'm this closeted gay kid in Southern California. I'm thinking like, "Boy, are you wrong, honey? That ain't ever going to happen." And sure enough, here I am.
Right, right. I love it. I
Like,
love how life
okay.
works.
So yeah, I think no, I'm loving exactly where I am right now. I'm so happy with the way things are turning out. And I mean, I'm delighted with the book. Um, it's my ninth book, my ninth
Wow.
published book. Yeah, I know, right? Uh, and I this is the if someone else had written this book, this would be my favorite book. I wrote this book
Awesome.
for me. I
Yeah.
wanted to write my favorite book.
Yeah.
Meh.
That's beautiful.
So it turned out this way, and I, with a screenwriter, filmmaker in Halifax, Nova Scotia, he and I have written a screenplay, a black, sort of a horror comedy that
Nice.
just got picked up by a producer and in LA, and it's uh, going to be going to going to be filmed this year. I can't tell you any more.
Awesome.
I can't give you
Ah,
any details about it because
oh no,
my
can't
producers
wait.
will kill me. Uh, but I can tell you that like it's just like it's a great year right now. Yeah, we're going
That's
to start filming
beautiful.
soon. Yeah,
Oh, congratulations.
right.
Congratulations.
Oh, and
This
it's
is
dark.
beautiful.
It's dark. It's
Oh,
evil and it's really funny.
I
So,
can't wait.
when I
Congratulations.
can talk about it, I will certainly give you a send
Yay.
you a note and say, have me back on the show.
I'd love that. Yes, 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 yes,
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Really quick, last question, and I'm so
sure.
curious. After everything you've experienced personally and professionally, what do you hope readers take away from the Museum of Lies?
To be kind to yourself.
Mm,
You know, you're doing the best you can, and even um, if people are awful to you, if you just find a way to get through it, it it actually makes you a stronger, better person in the long run. Even if you could just get past your um, sort of like anger and resentment, just accept it, learn from it, move on, and be a better person. I mean, try to see how it could make you, how you can benefit from these horrible things instead of
yeah.
just dwelling on how horrible they were. And just
Mm,
be kind to yourself because no one's going to be kinder to you than you could be to yourself. You
that's
know,
so true.
yeah, take care of yourself. Take that inner child and just bundle it up. Give it a hug.
Oh, give it a hug. I love that. Such a good reminder, because I think we can get so in our heads with life and just things. And if it's not working out, if it's not going out, going your way, it's like it can feel debilitating a little bit. But
hmm
you're
And
right.
no one could
Hug
be
yourself.
meaner to you than you can be to yourself,
So
you
true.
know? Yeah. So be kind to yourself.
Aw,
Give yourself a hug.
give yourself a hug. I love that. Where can people find you on social media to follow everything you have going on?
Well, certainly I'm on Facebook a lot. J period Timothy Hunt. J period Timothy Hunt, because James is my first name.
Nice.
On Facebook, I'm on Instagram. You can go to J Timothy Hunt. I'll kind of run it together.com. There's a really crappy website there. I have to do better there. Yeah, and you can find the Museum of Lies on Amazon.com. You can find it in the States at BarnesandNoble.com. In Canada, Indigo.ca. In England, at Waterstones. Um, .co.uk. I think that's how they do it there. Yeah. So if you don't see it in the store, just either ask for it, they'll get you a copy, or go to Amazon.com and get it as you get it at Kindle, Kobo, wherever. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Really quick, last I lied. Last question. Really, really, really last question. um, what's something, and for any listener out there that wants to get into writing and wants to do this for a living, what advice would you give to them?
Oh, write every day. Get a journal. Set a timer. Say I'm going to write for 10 minutes, and get a journal, a blank book, or anything, a notebook, a notepad. Put your pen on the paper and just keep your hand moving. Keep your hand moving for the 10 minutes. Don't stop, don't edit anything. And if you don't know what to say, write. I do not know what to write in this book right now. I feel stupid sitting here writing, but I have to keep my pen moving. I feel like when I was 5 years old and someone tried to get me to do something I didn't want to do. And boy, I was upset when my grandmother made me do that. And you're off
Yeah.
and running. You got to connect your brain to your hand, and you will once you learn how to do that and you do it every day, you will never have writer's block.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I can't wait for you to come back already. But have a wonderful, wonderful day. And thank you again for blessing us with your story, your journey, and just all that you are. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. It was a
Okay.
pleasure.
All
And
right.
thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.